her entrance and exit go to the back, and that's where the fire was. And it was pretty roaring by then, so she couldn't get out that way.
Tonight, we're going to hear from those who rushed to rescue a Cohoes woman who made a daring escape from her burning home. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm January Keaton. Fire officials in Cohoes tell us that fire broke out this afternoon at a home on Manor Avenue. The woman inside was on the second floor at the time, and her only exit was blocked by flames. Bravely, she somehow managed to get out through a window, jumping onto the roof of a home nearby. News Center's Lindsay Nielsen has been following the latest on the fire, and she spoke to a man who rushed to her aid. Lindsay.
Well, January, this home here is a total loss. As you take a look behind me, you can see the damage on the outside, but inside, all that remains is charred completely by this fire. Now, I spoke with those who were here earlier today trying to rescue the woman who was trapped inside, and they recalled that frightening situation.
I just saw the flames and I just pulled the truck over and jumped out.
Sean Barito knew every second would count when he saw this home on 92 Manor Avenue up in flames.
I just ran inside and just started screaming if there was anybody in here, anybody in here.
And there was a woman trapped inside. Little did Barito know she was fighting for her life on the second floor.
And then I heard the second floor window crash, and I came back out of the house, and the woman was on the roof.
Daniel Schneider, who lives downstairs, had already escaped the fire unharmed. He watched in fear as the woman dangled from the roof.
The roof that's below her was on a slant, so she couldn't really get any good traction there. So she was out on there and she was terrified.
Fire crews were on the way, but Barito wasn't waiting.
So I jumped up on the side of the house to grab her and coax her to me, and she just froze. She wouldn't come to me. I had my hands on her legs pulling her. She's like, I'm going to fall, I'm going to fall. I said, listen, I'm not going to let you fall. Just come to me, come to me.
Firefighters had a hard time putting out the flames. Cohoes Fire Chief Joseph Fodd says he believes the fire began on the back porch, but it's still under investigation.
There was a roaring fire within minutes. I mean, and I just don't understand how that can start from something that was on the porch.
Firefighters were able to get the woman off the roof using a ladder. She was taken to the hospital with burns and smoke inhalation. Now, they're not releasing her name, but they do say she is around 30 years old. Live in Cohoes, I'm Lindsay Nielsen for the News Center on 10 ABC.
Thank you tonight, Lindsay. 3 people without a home tonight following an overnight fire in Kinderhook. Columbia County Sheriff tells the News Center the fire broke out just after 12:15 this morning at a home on Kolb Lane. Firefighters were able to knock it down within an hour. One person was treated for smoke inhalation, but there were no other injuries. The 3 residents are now being cared for by Red Cross. In Southern California, all residents forced to evacuate because of raging wildfires being allowed to return home tonight. Just take a look at some of the pictures you're looking at of this massive blaze. The firefighters, they're getting help from Mother Nature to control the fire northwest of L.A. ABC's Clayton Sandell has more.
Moist air and milder winds are helping to calm that fast-moving wildfire that's burned more than 43 square miles in Southern California in a couple of days.
To have a fire that burned more than 28,000 acres in just a short amount of time in May is something we don't see very often in California. So today, the relief in the weather is also a relief for firefighters.
Flames still threaten thousands of homes.
They're making a drop, and there's a home there.
Remarkably, no homes have been lost, and only about 15 have been damaged.
These firemen did a tremendous job, so I'm very, very thankful for them.
Here's what happened this week. A high-pressure system moved, rotating clockwise, sending air over the mountains. That air dropped, compressed, heated up, and became less humid. That gust of wind is what fanned the wildfires. Now a low coming on shore is bringing winds from the other direction, with showers and cooler temperatures Sunday into Monday. That, say firefighters, will go a long way in helping get this blaze, now nearly 60% contained, finally under control. Clayton Sandell, ABC News, Camarillo, California.
New at 11 tonight, 2 20-year-old men behind bars after police say they're responsible for multiple burglaries in Schoharie, including one at the home of a state lawmaker. State police say Connor Casaboni and Brian Lemoyne, both of Schoharie, burglarized 2 homes back in April. They say one of the homes they broke into was the home of Assemblyman Peter Lopez. They took cash and jewelry from each home, police say. Both men have been charged with 2 counts of burglary, and they remain in the Schoharie County Jail in lieu of bail. Also news since 6, a Troy woman facing charges for driving drunk and hitting 3 parked vehicles. Police say it happened this morning when 29-year-old Grace Gibson was driving along River Street. They say she damaged the sides and corners of vehicles she hit. Gibson's is charged with DWI and improper lane usage. The FBI today looking for people who speak a foreign language. The agency is seeking contract linguists, and they hosted a career day at Siena College this morning to help fill some of those open positions. They're specifically looking for those who can speak an array of Middle Eastern languages, including Hebrew and Chinese. The FBI says linguists play an important role in assisting with foreign-related investigations. Some local lawmakers used their open office hours and went to the mall this morning, but not to shop, to talk with residents. Assemblyman Jim Tedisco and Clifton Park Town Supervisor Phil Barrett set up a table today in Clifton Park Center Mall as part of their town hall at the mall event. Both say it's a great way to meet people who they represent and also gives residents a chance to ask them questions, raise concerns, and offer new ideas about their community.
Folks are working, they're busy throughout the week. This is an additional way for us to get out and meet with folks and talk to them about the issues of the day and also show them a little bit about what the town's been working on as well as the state of New York.
Both Tedisco and Barrett plan to hold more events like this in the future. Well, Cache store in Cross Gates, usually known for fashion, but today it may have helped save a life. Cache hosted Team Lydia for a bone marrow registry drive today. Dozens of people filled out forms and got swabbed. Until there's a cure for blood cancers, a bone marrow transplant is the best hope for long-term remission for some people. Cindy Marshall from Glens Falls was lucky her sister was a match for her, but more than 70% of people in need don't have a family match. Well, if you weren't able to attend today's swabbing event, you can still donate to Lydia's cause. All you have to do is go to our website and click on the Team Lydia campaign picture. Meanwhile, it was perfect weather for a walk today, and that's what thousands came to do at crossings of Colony to honor survivors of heart disease. The walk is now in its 21st year. It's held annually to raise money to fight heart disease and stroke through the American Heart Association. Survivors say the best part about the walk is seeing other survivors and encouraging others to join their cause for a cure.
Everyone from, the little ones to the old ones see other people who have gone through the same thing, who are going through the same thing, and have a feeling of support and community.
Heart disease is the #1 killer in America, and stroke is the 4th. Governor Cuomo hoping to raise awareness about New York State parks and the importance they serve to the state. Cuomo did his part today by helping clean up a state park in Westchester in recognition of I Love My Park Day. The day is aimed at encouraging New Yorkers to volunteer at the 77 state parks across the state. The governor said it's one of his favorite events during the year because it brings people together.
It brings people out from all across the state to volunteer to help clean up the park, but it also builds the park community and the support for the park.
Now, Cuomo said state parks are also a great way for families to have fun without having to spend too much money. Well, the state's canal system about to get busier now that the waterway is officially open for its 189th season. The special event was held this afternoon in Brockport to celebrate the opening of the canal system. The waterway, used for commercial shipping and recreational boating, stretches 524 miles. State officials expect commercial shipping traffic on the canal to top 100,000 tons this year. Turning to weather now, just a beautiful day out there today. Let's get a storm tracker update from meteorologist Andy Gregorio. Will it last, Andy?
It will, at least through tomorrow, January. We're looking at another sun-filled day for our Sunday and some pretty warm temperatures once more. Pretty nice outside right now. Plenty of clear skies in the immediate capital district. Still a lot of 60s to talk about. 63 at Del Mar and also at the Albany International Airport. Voorheesville at 61, 62 at Glenmont. Cooling off into the low 50s around Troy, where it's 53. And many outlying spots already starting to fall through the 50s. By morning, look for those temperatures to drop down into the middle and upper 30s across the Adirondacks. 37 at Indian Lake, some upper 30s too for Manchester, Bennington, and Pittsfield, and some of those cooler elevated valleys across the Catskills. Lower elevations, 42 for Gloversville by morning, 44 here in Albany, 40 up at Glens Falls, 41 for Whitehall, Saratoga Springs, and Hudson and Schoharie should be near 43 degrees. All right, let's take a look at that Sunday morning wake-up weather. Looks really nice. A pleasant sun-filled start start to our day. 7 o'clock, temperature around 45. Not much wind to deal with at all. And for tomorrow afternoon, look for those temperatures to once again warm well into the 70s. How warm will we get? How long will this nice weather last? I'll let you know. My full weather coming up a little bit later in the newscast. January.
All right, see you soon, Andy. Well, the underground 9/11 museum at the World Trade Center not set to open until next year, and if you decide to go, you might want to bring some extra cash. Still ahead, how much it'll cost you to visit and why operators are instituting that admission fee. Plus, Israel deciding to take military action against Syria, carrying out an airstrike today on the country already locked in a deadly civil war. How the U.S. is reacting when we come back.